With me, I have the very stunning and very talented Priyanka Chopra. Priyanka, it's really a pleasure to have a chance to talk to you today.
Thank you so much, Radhika.
You are an actress, you are a singer, you've pretty much been doing everything. And you're here, you're in India. I mean, I follow you on Facebook, so I know you're always traveling. So how are you constantly juggling here, back there, everything together?
Well, you have to make a deal with the devil and not sleep. But besides that, I'm okay. I love what I do, and I feel I'm very fortunate to have, such amazing opportunities to be able to be as creative as I can be. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But hey, I'm having a great time doing it.
And you started very, very young. You were only 17 when you won Miss World. And after that, of course, you got a lot of opportunities to get into films. But initially, in any parent's mind or in any person's mind, there'd be some kind of fears, some kind of things that you might be afraid of. So how was that process for you?
Well, I had a chat with my mom and dad, and after Miss World, a lot of movie offers started coming my way. And because I was just 18 that time, when movies happened, we talked about it, my parents, because I come from a very academic family and I wanted to be an engineer. So we decided that I'm going to give my acting career a year and a half. If something happens within that time, great. If not, then I'm going to go back to school. But my first movie did really well, and there was just no looking back after. So, but I had a plan. I'm always somebody who I'm super organized, and I need to have a plan to do everything that I do.
Through your acting career, you've taken quite a bit of risks. You've done films, one of which is my favorite, Atraz. Then you went on to doing things like fashion, Burfi. You've always sort of challenged yourself. Now you have a movie that you're preparing for where you're playing a boxer. So what kind of preparations do you do from your end? How long does it take you to sort of get into your character?
Well, every film is very different, and I think prep is the most important thing as an actor, to be able to find interesting nuances for a character. And I think I have the greatest job in the world, and I'm good at it, so I enjoy it a lot. I love the prep aspect of it. I love researching and doing R&D and trying to figure out what a character should be. Like when I did Burfi, I went into a lot of schools for differently able kids, and I spent time with them. And prep is, I think, the most important part of playing a challenging character. So it's like, I don't know, doing a project in school. It's super fun, but super difficult at the same time.
And recently, of course, not too long ago, Exotic came about, and I know, being a fan of Pitbull and being a fan of yours, I was like, wow, it's the best of both worlds. I get everything in one, and it was kind of a shock. I think for a lot of people my age, we were kind of blown away by it. So I want to know what's coming up next for you in the music scene here, or maybe even Hollywood, and how important is it for you to keep your Indian culture alive in your music?
Well, it's new. It's different. For a lot of people, they won't understand the fact that why is there Hindi in a pop song? Because that's not normal. It's not norm. They're going to be saying, why do we need to have Indian tunes in an English pop album? What I'm trying to do is different. And when you try and do different, there are a lot of people who are going to say, what, why, it's terrible, it's great, it's not. And I'm just happy for the opportunity. I want to be able to pave the way for incredible talent that we have in India, in our country. For me, that is who I am. I grew up here in America. I grew up in India. I want my music to be an amalgamation of who I am. I don't want to have to change my personality to cater to a certain audience. Just because I'm making an international album doesn't mean I need to be all American or all Indian just because I do Hindi films. I am who I am, and I've realized over the span of my career that you can't please everyone. You have to just entertain, and some people will like you for who you are and some won't.
A lot of times what happens is, what I've noticed is, people, no matter how much you try, how much you do, you kind of have to keep it strong. People will still criticize, and sometimes what happens, and what bothers you, is when Indian people themselves criticize, or they say things that are kind of hurtful. So how do you sort of react, and how do you handle that?
That hurts, because you have people from every other culture applauding you for doing something which is different, and you have your own people saying, why is she doing that, what does she need to? And it's okay, especially if I realized that a couple of months ago, that I've put myself out there to do something different. If I hadn't, if I was still doing the same kind of films, the same kind of parts, it's easy for me to do that. Safe movies, 5 blockbuster songs, blockbuster movie. But that's not who I want to be. That's not the kind of entertainer I want to be. I want to be someone who, makes my own path. And yes, there will be people who will say, why is she trying so hard to be different? And why is she trying to be different? But if you don't try to be different, then how are you ever going to make a legacy of your own? I don't want to follow someone's norm. I want to make my own. And I may or I may not. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know at least I'm trying. How many people can say that?
Just to end, last question. Priyanka, what is the one term or one phrase you think describes you the best?
I think I am, when I was a kid, I used to be scared of this, but my mom got me this doll. It was called Hit Me. So when you hit it, it would fall back and come back up again and hit you back on your face. I used to be terrified of it when I was a kid, but I think I've turned into that. So you can box me, you can hit me, you can punch me. I go back and come back up again.